This is a clip from my new DVD, Rubber Stamping Basic Tips and Techniques. To purchase the full DVD, please visit my website, astampineveryhand.com. This clip is coloring directly to the rubber stamp. Now I'm going to show you how to color directly onto a solid stamp. Now, most people will just look at a stamp and say, oh, I can only use one color. I can just ink it up. Also, when you're inking a stamp, a big stamp like this, it's a good thing to pay close attention to where you're putting the ink. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp this on glossy paper. And that's not a bad image. There's nothing wrong with that. It's great. But what I want to show you is how to take that same stamp and color onto the stamp, giving all those colors and making a beautiful card. So we're going to start. We'll put that aside for a moment. Take that out of the picture. We're going to start by cleaning our stamp. I haven't showed you this, but it's pretty much simple. You're going to spray one side of your cleaning surface with a stamp cleaner. Rub the stamp on that side. This side you want to keep dry. There you go. Got your stamp clean. That's how easy it is to clean a stamp. Now I'm actually going to do away with this green. I'm going to use another piece of glossy cardstock. I'm going to use ochre. That's the yellowy color here in the background. I'm going to use that for my base. And I'm actually going to ink up most of the area. It doesn't matter if I go over onto the leaves. It's no big deal. In this case, I'm just going to ink up the whole thing so I can show you how much I'm going to change it. Okay, I pretty much got a good coverage there. Now I'm going to go in with the brown and color the stem. Little piece of stem there. I'm going to color the stem in. Then I'm going to go with the green. And I'm actually going to go right over that color I've already stamped on there. Just make sure you get all the green on there. We'll come over and do the other leaf. Actually getting a lot of that ochre in my pen, so I'm going to stop and take some of that out so it goes back to the green color again. Now I'm going to come into the pear itself up here at the top, add some green into that area and create a shadow or a shading of green over here. Just going to come in and add some green there also. And I know you're thinking, isn't that ink going to dry? Well, yeah, it is going to dry a little bit. And what I'm going to do is going to be off camera, but you're going to hear what I'm doing. I'm actually going to huff or breathe onto the stamp to add moisture back to the ink. Okay, I'm going to add just a little bit of shading with the brown here. A little bit in there. I'm going to hit that again with a little stipple brush or duster brush, whatever you care to use. Blend that out just a little more. Now, 3 times. I always do 3 times. 2 times may work for you, 3 times works for me. Okay, we're going to press down. And there you have your pear. Now, as I did with this one, I went around and re-inked it and stamped segments of it all the way around so it would give me a nice image around the sides and not just a plain image there. And then I just put my card together. So I've got one here that I've already done. rather than showing you how to ink this each time again. I'm sure you got the idea on how to do it. So I've chosen 2 mats this time. I know in the past you've seen me do cards on this DVD where I've only used 1 mat. Well, this time I wanted to go with 2. I wanted to make my colors pop a little more. So I just cut my cardstock another 1/4 inch smaller on 2 sides, and that's how I get the size for my mats. So we're going to assemble this card real quick. It's a quick, easy card. You can, on a solid stamp, you can go directly to the stamp, do your coloring there. I have another example of a solid stamp here. It's cherries. So you could do the red of the cherries, the brown of the stem, the green of the leaves, and you can do exactly the same thing on this one. But there are a lot of solid stamps like that that you can play with and do things with. But I know you've seen me use this pear stamp throughout the video. The reason why I'm using the same stamp all the time is because I feel like if you pick up a stamp, you ought to be able to use it all different kinds of ways, with all different ideas. I mean, some people say, oh, I don't know why you would put all that money into a stamp to use just one time. I don't use my stamps one time. I have a hard time parting with my stamps. Ask my husband. Okay. And there you have your finished card. And that's called inking directly on a solid stamp.